We need to have a massive discussion as a society about what wealth means.
Yes.
If we want to stop using the language money, let's start using the language wealth and take that outside of the category of finance, outside of the category of tangible dollar signs, and look at wealth as your time with your loved ones, your time in nature, your time with yourself, your time for freedom and peace. And yes, that does come with what you're able to do with your dollar signs, but it also comes with what you can do for free, what you can do that doesn't have to do with like selling your soul at your fucking job. For those who are deep enough to get it,
but profound enough to not care.
You're listening to Consciously Unconscious. Hi, everybody. My name is Miss Jess. This is Miss Amanda. Welcome to Finance 101, education class.
It is hot as hell in here.
It's always hot as hell in here. We were just listening to Nora Jones also.
We were.
No wonder it's hot as hell in here.
Do you like Nora Jones?
Of course I like Nora Jones. You're untrustworthy if you don't like Nora Jones. Is that on?
Yeah, it's recording. Wait, let me just...
Is this thing on?
Yes, we were recording. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's it hanging?
I'm completely raw dogging this episode. Didn't read the template. Didn't show up prepared at all.
I feel like the last episode I raved about how you were the one who writes all the templates, all of the outlines, is the creative.
Yeah. And then
beverage of the week.
And then I fell off the face of the earth though.
Do you want to explain why?
Some things have been happening. My car got absolutely fucking smashed. Denver's been giving me a little bit of the ick recently. I'm feeling quite turned off by this city. Not necessarily the people in it in terms of my circle and my space, but something about the energetics have shifted in this place since the last 3 years I've been here. And it's getting some large red flags in my book.
Big red flags.
And someone came and fucking smashed my driver's side window for no apparent reason. To be fair,
Jessa lives in a beautiful little home, a beautiful apartment, but the street over, not so beautiful.
Yeah, I'm next to one of the most unsafe grocery stores in America. I didn't know that until my Uber driver one time. Wait,
actually?
Oh, yeah. We were driving home and he was like, oh, you live next to the unsafe way. And I was like, ha, ha, ha. And he was like, no, seriously, that's like rated one of the most unsafe grocery stores in America. And I was like, perfect. I am a single woman living alone on the first floor.
Do you shop there?
Not anymore. Not after you told me that fact.
Wait, I'm dying at unsafe Safeway.
Except the day that I got my car smashed, I did go in there. So there's a correlation. Correlation does not mean causation, but
it's giving causation.
Car window got smashed. Nothing got taken out of it, which is good, I guess. But also, you motherfucker, you might as well have taken what you wanted out of my car.
Right, because what's the motive? To scare you?
To target me? To just be a little fuckwad? To just come and play around in the streets by throwing axes at people's car windows?
Was it an axe?
I don't know. At first I thought it was a bullet, but it wasn't.
Well, you sent me a picture and it did look like there was a tiny hole.
Yeah, which is what it looked like at first. And then I was like, oh shit, I'm going to deal with this when it's light out in the morning. And then when I went back out in the morning, it was like completely, it must have just broken more in the middle of the night.
Or a crowbar or something maybe?
I don't know. I mean, there was an incident when I was getting out of my car. Did I tell you about this part?
Kind of.
I can't think of.
You went to the grocery store.
Okay, so I'm coming home from work because I was trying to think of any incident that could have happened on the road that could have caused road rage. Because if anyone knows me, like, I do struggle to maintain neutrality on the road.
Hi, my name is Jessa. I have road rage.
First step is admitting that you have a problem. And I do. But I can confidently say that this was not an incident that I got out of control. I was completely in control. I drove home from work, normal day. It's just like a 10-minute drive, straight home, stopped at every stop sign, waited my turn, all's well.
Good for you.
Stop at the unsafe way just for like a little coconut water. Whatever else I got in there, needed a razor. It's wintertime here in the mountains. I go in, maybe 10 minutes in there, tops. Park, go in, come back out, get in my car. Absolutely nothing happens. No incident in the grocery
You
store
didn't
parking
see
lot.
anyone?
I didn't see anyone. I'm not clocking shit. I'm just boop in my
When
car.
you walk from the grocery store to your car, are you on your phone or are you looking around?
I'm vigilant. So I'm in my car. When I say this grocery store is next to my house, I mean it's one street over. It takes 22 seconds to drive from
Yeah,
store
you live
to
on
house.
Unsafeway Drive.
Pretty much, exactly. It's in case you're wondering. Bleep that out. I'm moving, so honestly, someone else
You
can
are
move in.
moving?
I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
But then where do I go is the question.
You want to move into my house in the guest room?
I do. Honestly, your basement scares me. No.
It is a little weird.
I go and I park on my street, and my street is usually packed to the brim. It's street parking. There's usually a parallel park involved, and I just got to swoop right in. Not to mention, I hit a car a couple weeks ago trying to swoop right into a parking spot, which should have been a parallel park. So when I had the opportunity to swoop right in here with no car on either side, I was like, ooh, ooh. And so I pull right in and I swing my door open to like grab my purse and get out of my car. And this huge white van, like scary van, is whipping down the street, and I hear it coming from behind me.
Like Sprinter van or...
Yeah, like painter van with no windows in the back, kind of kidnapper
Yikes,
van.
bro.
And I hear it coming from behind me. And so I like grab my door to pull it in because I'm like, this guy's going to rip off my door. So I like, that's how fast he was coming down the street. So I pull it in and he honks at me and flips me off. And I'm like, what the fuck? Was it because my door was just open that he was like pissed? And so I'm just kind of like, okay, that was weird. So I grab my bag, I get out of my car. At this point, he's gone. He's pulled off the road. Like he's
So he
turned.
didn't even see you get out of the bag, didn't even really see what you looked like.
No, just was like, I guess mad that I had swung my door open. I don't know. And then not but 40 minutes later, I come back and my car is smashed.
What were you going back to your car for?
My water bottle and my center console. Because baby girl was thirsty and she's been trying to be more hydrated. Tries to do a good thing once.
Did you look? You've really been, I mean, we've all been going through it with cars, and I agree with you with Denver kind of giving you the ick lately. There has definitely been an uptick in crime, and I think you get crime in all major cities, but
Sure.
I mean, it feels very personal, targeted lately.
It does. I feel violated.
So violated.
I feel violated after I got the boot put on my car because I didn't pay 17 parking tickets. I feel violated when I hit someone else's car because I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, they all of those did you wrong, huh?
I especially feel violated when someone else targets me by hitting my window. But
Well, and it also just feels extra spooky because why your car? No other car on the street was touched.
it's because of my 24-inch hair extensions.
Well, I hope that you get that figured out because they're gonna fix the car.
Yeah, well, they showed up to fix the car and they brought the wrong window size to fix it. I gave them 6 days of notice. You had 6 days to find the right window size. And they showed up with the wrong window size.
What did they say?
Angela calls me and says, I'm here. I'm like, Angela, you're my fucking savior. I literally tell him that. I say, Angela, you're my savior. I'm coming right out. I walk out. I pay him because I literally say, I trust you. He's like, I'm not gonna authorize the charge until after I complete the window. I'm like, you know what? I trust you. I'm gonna go get a coffee. I'll just pay now. God forbid I have faith in humanity. So I pay Angela $156.42 after tax. I go to get myself a little cappuccino. Angela gives me a ring and says, yeah, I brought the wrong size window and we're going to have to order a new part.
What a dumbass.
You know what I did?
What?
You know that meme of the white cat going, and I hung up on him.
You did?
No, I didn't. But I said, Angela, listen, I'm not going to shoot the messenger, but connect me with your manager.
You did?
No, I didn't say that either. But I said, I literally was just like, okay, what now? And so,
Are you the type to call and complain and give it to them, or are you trying to be respectful?
it depends on the day, my guy. It depends.
Yeah.
I was respectful, but I was like, you need to get me a number to talk to the right person.
Yeah.
And then I got on the phone with Violet.
Oh, Violet.
the receptionist.
How was she?
I mean, she was great. She ordered the right part for me and then told me that she would call me back when she knew when it was going to be delivered. I digress. The story is the car is supposedly going to be fixed on Wednesday, and then I can begin contributing again.
To society?
Yes.
And you drove your broken windowed car.
I can't talk about it.
How did that go?
I need to wear noise canceling headphones.
No.
Because I have the whole thing taped up with like plastic wrap. And if I go over 25 miles per hour, the thing is like, I'm like, I'm a highly sensitive person or autistic, both. I don't know. I think those go hand in hand. And so when that was like in my ear, I was like foaming from the mouth.
You said you had to kick it in this morning?
Well, I had to clear out the rest of the glass to be able to tape it up so it wasn't.
Women in STEM.
How are you?
I'm good. I got new lip filler.
I know it looks great.
I have new lips. I'm a whole new woman.
Do you feel like you can articulate with the tip of the teeth and
the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips? Yeah. For a minute though, I couldn't eat, and I thought about you because if there's.
All right. Well, did she inject your tongue? I mean, like, are you all right?
If there's one thing that Jessa always says about me when I eat, which you're the first person who has ever said this to me, is that I chew with my mouth open.
It's because I'm honest.
But you know who I'm married to is the most highly critical person in the world, and he has never once mentioned that I chew with my mouth open.
He must not be an HSP.
What's that?
Highly sensitive person. A mesophonic.
Anyway, I started to kind of notice what Jess is talking about. Is like, I chew with my mouth closed, but sometimes I like open it ever so slightly.
I chew with my mouth closed, but sometimes I open it and end up chewing with it open. Yeah. Yep.
All that to say is that I really noticed that it's hard to chew with my mouth closed with these big ass honking lips when I first got them done. They were so swollen that I was like, I couldn't close them. I could not close them.
Amanda and I will not be sharing a meal together for quite some time until the swelling goes down.
Yeah, I apparently chew with my mouth open. I lick my fingers.
It's a lot. This is why I need to carry around noise canceling headphones everywhere I go.
But the good thing is that I did a brand collaboration with the company that gave me these lips, these new lippies.
That's great.
And so I did not have to pay for anything, which is amazing because the topic of this conversation today is money, 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 money.
What would it be like to get free things? I wouldn't know because I'm just shelling out money left and right to pay for things.
Well, and there's also this weird thing where we also just got a loaner car from Chevy for a week.
For free
Because I was doing content for them. So there's this like weird thing of getting things for free, but also doing free work.
Said, it's for free. I said, sure.
What's that?
Dude, Pitch Perfect. When she's like, I got a tattoo. I got a free tattoo.
Oh, yeah,
and she pulls out the
Mexican worm.
The Mexican drinking worm. She was like, he said, it's for free. And I said, sure.
What was her name again? Fat Amy?
Yes.
What's her actual name? Robin Williams. Rebel Wilson.
Rebel Wilson, yes. Robin Williams.
Robin sounded so
honestly,
right.
rip. This is a great segue.
Okay.
Robin Williams is the perfect example of how money, 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 fame, 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 wealth, wealth, wealth is not the key to happiness. How people think that is a gateway to peace, love, joy, happiness, that money's just going to get you to where you want to be, and ultimately can't get you what you want, can't get you what you really need.
Should we beatbox our beverage of the week and then get into that?
Yeah, please, because I'm getting a little cotton mouth over here.
Okay. Well, because we did a taste test for me, a little challenge last week, I thought in lieu of last week's episode, we should do another little taste test challenge for Jessa. And the concept of this is that I got 3 different cold brews from 3 different places.
Holy shit.
And I wanted Jessa to taste them and see if she could guess which one was the most expensive.
Oh my God. Okay. First of all, before we get into this, I just want to take a moment to publicly thank and congratulate Amanda, because last week, I think we mentioned that I had an episode before the episode of like crying in tears and we got in an argument. It's because Amanda's chronically late. We also joked about it. But thank you for taking the time and respecting this.
And he was like, this morning?
For 2 minutes.
I'm just kidding. No, I was here.
No, that's really cool that you did that. I really appreciate it.
I was here at 7:35. I woke my ass up at 6:15.
I know. I woke up. I cracked my eyes open. My eyes were crusted open to you being like, I'm on the way. I'm like, is this a simulation? What mirage am I in?
No, I woke up at 6:15. But there's something about me.
Fucking with me.
Something about me is when I set an alarm, I am up at the first sound of that alarm. I don't sleep through my alarms. Like, I just get up. And so I got ready in like 10 minutes and I was like, guess I'll fucking leave.
Well, you look great for 10 minutes.
Thanks. I need to take this off though because I'm dying of heat.
Hey, hi, hello. It was at this point in editing that I realized we didn't sing. We did not sing. I said we were going to beatbox and we didn't beatbox. So here we go. Solo beatbox. Do 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 do. She take my money when I'm in need. Ooh, she's a beverage of the week. Oh. All right.
Okay, so I have to guess which one's the most expensive.
Yes. So there's 3 different coffees, cold brews here, and they're all in different glasses, so you can't tell where they're from. But I will obviously tell you afterward and how much they cost. But the concept of, if there's one thing that I spend most of my money on, it's coffee. And so I thought it would be fun to guess which is the most expensive. And I actually
know which is which?
I know which is which, but I also haven't tasted them, so I want to taste after you.
Okay. Just raw dogging cold brew. I'm going to have to take a break during this episode to head to the restroom. Dude, this is a colonic.
Yeah.
Okay. A little bitter. Like a little astringent.
Ooh.
I like it.
Okay. Does it taste expensive or no?
I can't know until I compare it to something.
Yeah, the lady who gave me this one said, you like it strong? I said, give it to me. That bitch is strong.
All right. I picture that being from more of like an edgy coffee shop. Oh my, this is fucking horrible. This is terrible. And this has been sitting overnight. And this is watered down and I don't appreciate it.
Let me taste.
And if that was the most expensive, absolutely not. That's rank. That's bad.
You know when certain coffees taste like fruit? It's this.
Rankington.
Bitter, nutty,
Nope.
fruity disgustingness.
Won't be revisiting that. That is like...
Tastes like stale cranberries.
That tastes like a skunked beer.
Oh.
Okay, that's $2. That's $6. Ooh. I like this one too, but it's a little watered down. This also feels like a pre-made batch.
Okay, let me taste.
This one's the most expensive.
Wait, let me taste.
Okay. The first, number one, I'm going to say is the most expensive, and I'm going to say that you got it from Green Collective.
No. Okay, just guess what you think is the most expensive, okay?
I just did.
And then least expensive.
The nasty rank one. And if the nasty rank one is the most expensive, I have lost all faith in society. This.
Okay, that one is the what?
Least.
The least expensive, okay. And then
Most. Middle.
okay.
This one could also
so
be the
Jessa
most.
is pointing to the biggest cup,
Yeah.
which is from Starbucks,
Okay.
and it's $4.62.
Okay. Highway robbery.
Which one did you say was the most expensive?
Just fucking tell me the prices.
Okay. The smallest cup in the middle
Yeah.
is from Method, and it was $6.
Nar. What's that?
That one is from the cutest little breakfast coffee shop on and off right there. $3.71.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what we have come to the conclusion.
What we have learned.
This is actually like a perfect example is that the worst fucking one on the table is the most expensive. $6 for that rank ass stuff.
What stunned me is the disparity in the prices.
I mean,
a $2.50 difference.
yeah, it does strike me. Okay, see, here's the thing with coffee shops too, though. Like Starbucks is right down the middle. That like little hipstery, weird, like boho, very urban shop is obviously going to charge an arm and a leg.
Yep.
And then the little mom and pop shop on the corner
Usually has the best shit and is the most
underground.
affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I'm going to sip on the best one.
I was shocked actually because I didn't even try these before you came. I'm shocked that the Methods ones taste like that. How revolting.
Revolting is the perfect
jail.
word. Yeah, straight to
to
jail.
jail.
I'm going to leave a Google review. Probably.
Have you ever left a Google review?
Oh, do you want to hear it? This is actually a great segment. I will only leave. Should I out myself like this?
Yeah.
I will only leave Google reviews if it's a terrible experience. I went to Mykonos, Greece, and then we'll get into the actual meat of this episode, but don't judge me after this. You really had to, HTBTM, had to be their moment. I went to Mykonos, Greece, and if you go to Mykonos, this is also a great segue into the episode. Like, just don't fucking go to Mykonos unless you have quadrillions of dollars to spend. Like,
Oh,
go,
really?
Yeah,
I
go
didn't
to
realize
the
it was expensive.
actual other Greek islands that have incredible things to offer, like culture
Yeah.
and class.
I have class and you don't.
I have class and you don't. Yeah, went to Mykonos, had about $3 to spend, and that didn't go over well. So
They said back where you came from.
I was a peasant on this island, and you really are made to feel that way. So me and my two friends went to this bar, and we go and we sit down and we order like a fucking Aperol spritz or whatever. And we leave a review. 1 star, obviously. If I could leave 0 stars, I would. The worst experience I've ever had at a bar with the most disgusting service. A scheme to only honor those who are wealthy and attractive. Everyone else is treated like peasants. If you're looking to find a bar that degrades you, overcharges you, and permits zero comfortability in the space, you must go. The waitstaff chased us down the street after we already paid and told us we owed more money. An extremely abrasive and unprofessional cult of a professional cult of evil, egotistical robots who don't acknowledge your existence.
Did they reach back out and comp your meal, give you a refund?
No, but it has 4,976 views.
Can you like a Google review?
Yeah, I've got 12 hearts.
Okay. Why did they trace you down the street?
We tried to dine and dash.
There it is.
We sat there for probably over an hour and not a single person looked at us. They wouldn't serve us. They wouldn't pay attention to us. It was filled with all these just like wealthy people getting bottle service. They
Who
were
are you
just
with?
very degrading to us. My friends Cameron and Sierra.
Okay, I'm sure you guys are all beautiful ladies. Like, why?
We sure are.
That makes no sense to me.
It just, yeah, it was an experience.
Yeah.
And so we were just like, we're going to fucking go. We're leaving. We're leaving. And so I think we left some money on the table because we didn't know how much it fucking was. But we were like, we've been trying to fucking like get someone's attention literally for over a fucking hour.
Yeah.
And so we just left money on the table and left. And they
should've
chased us down the street.
taken it
and it was 1 drink each.
Yeah.
And we were just so upset at the way that they treated us. And they were all these like it was like a Mykonos Hooters, you know, like all these like gorgeous, like busty girls in these like gowns, and they were beautiful, and they were all these like men, and it was just.
So did you guys end up paying more?
I think we did.
Ew, hate that.
Yeah.
Well, they deserved that.
Anyways.
Great segue. Great segue because money
Yeah.
represents value. And you guys
Yes.
didn't feel like that was an experience that was valuable.
Yeah.
You weren't being treated like you were valuable.
Well, we weren't exhibiting that we had enough money to be treated as if we were valuable enough to be there. We weren't exhibiting and showing based on how we were presenting, based on what we were wearing, based on how we were acting, what we were ordering, that we fit in a class of people that deserved to be there.
Oh, there are so many stories like that where really successful people, celebrities, whatever, are not wearing their best and they go into a designer store or they go into a luxury car dealership.
And they're Pretty Woman.
100%. And they're like stiff-armed basically by the people who work there, made to feel like they can't afford it.
That's
and
such
then
a
they
strategy.
walk out. And then people are like, oh, fuck, I just fucked up because I judged the book by its cover. And I really wanted to talk about this topic again because I think a lot of us are going through it with money. I mean, if you're in your 20s and even 30s, but I feel like it's really prevalent for people who are in their 20s and trying to build their career, trying to build financial success as an independent versus a dependent. And it's really been a struggle for a lot of us. I feel like we live in a society where like everything's becoming more expensive and jobs are becoming few and far between. And I think that I really just wanted to have an open discussion about money. And this is not an episode where we're going to be like preaching to you. Here's how to fix your mindset with money. It's very much of like, we are here with you.
Yeah,
we
dude.
feel it too. And I would love to open it up by asking you, what do you feel like money represents? Because the whole point of the coffee trick was money represents value, but it was so mismatched because what we saw as valuable with the coffees did not match the price.
Totally. Money to me represents status. I mean, and it's interesting because unfortunately we do need money to live in this society, in this culture, in this world that we've created for ourselves. And it used to not be tangible money, right? It used to be like a barter system. It used to be a trade. It used to be things other than money. And
which is so interesting because I think you thought maybe more about the value that you were getting in return. I saw a TikTok recently of somebody was talking about money and she's like a manifestation girly, and we'll get into the manifestation of money and the whole abundance mindset thing too. But she was talking about money itself has no value. The paper
Correct.
thing has zero value. So you're not ever losing money. You're only gaining value. And it was a really interesting mindset shift because for me, I think I do lose money because I actually don't fucking value the things that I am spending on sometimes.
well, it's paradoxical because we assign the value.
Yeah.
And have you ever heard of the story of how
Another parable.
the Dutch bought this is not a parable. This is a real thing that happened. I don't know in what year, but the Dutch bought the island of Manhattan for glass beads. Because at the time, glass beads from the indigenous culture that inhabited it, that they made glass beads, were so rare and valuable that at the time the Dutch bought the island of Manhattan. Like that was an equivalent trade. That's how valuable they were.
I mean, that's why even now, if you're a good salesman and you can sell value, you can get anything you want.
You can create value.
Create value. Yeah.
But yeah, so but in the society that we live in now, right, we've created value as money, as this commodification of physical, tangible dollar bills and coins, yes, but now moving into a lot of currency that isn't something that we can see. But owning it, having it, possessing it, being able to spend it in exchange for things signifies status to me, because the more you have means the more you've earned, means the more that you can spend. And the more that you can spend means the more that you have. So it's like this cycle, and the more that you have means the more that you can show off. And the more that I can show, or the more that I can possess, means the more that other people can perceive.
And I think if you're listening to this and you're like, I don't do that. I don't think money is status. I don't get things to show it. You do. I think everyone does.
Just the more you make, the more you spend. That's just how it goes. Like whether you want to or not. And even if you're humble and you're subtle with your money, you know, we all know that there's a family that we grew up with where they had tons of money and they drove Hyundais, you know, like they were not like showing off their money. They were very subtle with it and humble. But I think that it's a slippery slope because you just have the option to spend more, and inherently then you do. I was talking to someone about this the other day about marrying rich, like a woman who marries rich. And I have a very interesting take that I came to, that I think a lot of times people think, oh my gosh, she's just marrying rich because she loves him for his money. And she will look at you and say, no, like I really love him. And I think that I've started to empathize with the girl who says, no, I really love him. I don't just love him for his money, because I think she might think that she actually loves this man, because what's happening is he's setting her up to always be doing fun things because he has the money to provide her with that. So
100%.
it feels like she loves him. It feels like they're always in these spaces of
She loves the lifestyle.
Yes, she loves the lifestyle. They're going out to eat. They're going on trips. They're going on vacation. She loves the clothes she gets to wear. So it's like, of course I love him. There's no stress.
100%.
So she really feels like she loves him, not his money, but she just loves what his money can provide for them.
Well, that's what it is. And even when you were talking about you view money as status, yes, I do as well. But I also view money as freedom.
Yes.
As access.
Yes.
And as security.
Yes.
Gives me the freedom to invest in my dreams. It gives me the access to opportunities to be in rooms that maybe people who do not have that access to be in. And it gives me the security to not have to worry about paying my fucking mortgage, paying my bills, paying my car payment, paying diapers, paying for daycare. I mean, it really does afford you a lifestyle. I'm curious because I think that so often, this is such a complex topic, but I think so often money is sought after, but it's also at the same time demonized. What do you feel is your view in terms of feeling about money?
It's so love-hate.
Isn't it
It's
so
love-hate.
convoluted?
Yeah, I mean, I totally see where you're coming from about the freedom and the access part of it, because there are a ton of psychological and sociological studies that ask people, like, what is one of the most important things that provides you with, like, mental comfortability and peace? And one of the first answers is financial freedom and like financial comfort and financial stability, because that provides them with stability and safety in so many other areas of their life.
Because of the systems that we live in.
Correct, because you have to have money to participate. My personal relationship with money is really interesting. My biggest motto around money is,
Gotta spend it to make it.
you have to spend money to make money. I've really been trying to treat money as an energetic source of, like, I don't even fucking know where the words are coming from here.
Were
because
you raised with an open dialogue around money?
No, I never really even knew that money existed, because there was just no conversation necessary, because it was just always abundant and always provided for us, which was so lovely and so wonderful. And I want to, like, shout out my dad for working so fucking hard to make that possible for our family. And my mom too. Like, my parents grinded. They worked so hard. It wasn't just like we had it in our name, we had it in our family.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't necessarily
earned.
quote unquote generational wealth. It was earned. And I feel like, you know, I saw that. I saw that money had to be earned. I saw that money had to be worked for. But I also never really took into consideration, like, how hard, because I wasn't the one doing it. And it was also just given to me and handed to me.
Were you also encouraged to get a job from a young age?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, my parents definitely encouraged me to get a job. I mean, like, I think I had chores, and I was encouraged to spend my own money. But at the same time, I also had an allowance and, like, had money coming in and had my account hooked up to my parents, you know, like, so yes and no. I think it was, like, subtly encouraged, but I flip back and forth of the script of money is so fake and not real, and nothing fucking matters, and literally nothing matters. This is all so fake.
When do you think that, though? When you have debt?
Well, and then I flip to how am I going to set myself up? How am
Yeah.
I going to make myself money? How am I going to make myself comfortable? What is the life that I want to live that I can only provide myself with if I support myself financially? You know, what if I want to have kids? Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a balance, because I think that it can be irresponsible if I think that money isn't completely real, because it is, if I have to participate in this 3D material world. But if I am unattached to making money as my only source of like happiness, then I have more freedom in how it flows to me more easily.
Yeah. So it's like this balance between attachment and detachment.
Totally, as with everything is.
Yeah. Why do you think so many of us are like struggling though? Like, because a big part of what I feel, I resonate with you in terms of upbringing. My parents came from like middle class backgrounds, but they actually really worked hard to build wealth for themselves and their family. I don't relate to being encouraged to get jobs, because not only was money not really a conversation, because again, it was always abundant, but it also, I wasn't encouraged to get a job. I remember playing like I had a job. Like I was working at a receptionist. I was on the typewriter. I was like
Grocery store checkout.
answering the phones. Like I always wanted to work. And I remember being the one to set up a fucking chore chart in my house, and it lasted like a week. But I always wanted to, because I saw my parents working hard. Yeah, totally. My Virgo rising was showing up and showing the fuck out. But it was never encouraged of me to get a job, because I got like a debit card in high school, and they like put like $400 a month on it or something like that, you know? And I got a car, and it wasn't necessary. So my parents were like, I would rather you work on your passions, which again, to an extent I appreciate, because it really taught me the power of living a life in alignment with your passion and pursuing your passion. And I think that I have an interesting take on career as well, because my dad, the way that he created his wealth was through his passion. He didn't have to go to a 9-to-5. He didn't have to hustle in corporate world. He didn't have to involve himself in corporate America. He played golf. He literally from 9th grade realized he was too short to play football, so switched to golf and grinded, went to college for golf, got on all these little tours, and then made it. Yeah. And that's how he made his money. That's how he made his career. And I'm very fortunate for all of those things that it provided me, but also because it gave me the perspective of, oh, you can pursue your passion and make it work.
Yeah.
However, I think it's also, there's a downside to all things where I wasn't necessarily taught how to earn money. I wasn't necessarily taught how to work for anyone else, which is why it's been so hard for me to work for somebody else. I also had this idea that success and financial success was linear, because my dad did one thing and just grinded and worked hard to that. Whereas I've done so many different things and it hasn't been linear. My parents, when they started having kids, were secure. Never once were we worrying about money. I'm in a position where I had kids before I was financially stable.
Yeah.
So it's just all of these things. And I think that for me, what I think could be contributing to a lot of the reason why a lot of us are in such a struggling relationship with money is because maybe it wasn't talked about, whether you had none or you had an abundance of money.
Or maybe there's just more of a spotlight, and I don't know, this is just a thought. Maybe there's more of a spotlight on more people struggling because there's a higher ability to compare with social media. And now, if you think about it, there is the highest percentage of young people making the most amount of money than there ever has been. Think about YouTube, TikTok.
Right.
This is probably the most amount of people ever in the youngest generations that are millionaires.
Right.
I bet you that statistic has shifted to such young people making so much fucking money.
Then in turn causes people like us who are in their 26, 27, 28, who are not like pursuing normal things, but just not in that 1% of YouTubers, TikTokers, whatever. So then we think, oh, we're failing because all of these people who are younger than us are making all of this money.
It completely changes the structure of how everything in society is set up. The more people who are able to make more money, I don't know if that maybe changes like the structure of how expensive everything is, or just like the way that people live, or like the demand for things, but it just means that more people are able to afford more expensive things. And so maybe the cost of things goes up because there's more people can buy it.
Yeah. Yeah. I also think the mindsets around money is so important, but I also don't feel like I've mastered it at all. Like I feel like I have so much blockages around money.
I have fake abundance mindset, I think.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. It's like not genuine.
Well, there's like 3 places you can be, right? There's complete lack mindset where you truly don't believe. Like you have blockages around money, right? I can't make any money. I don't have money coming to me. I'm in debt. I'm so stuck and struggling. There's the middle ground where you're like, I'm okay. Money's coming to me. Like, this is all right. I'm making it. You're trying to convince yourself that you can have money come to you, but you still have subconscious beliefs. Yeah. Like you're attempting to convince yourself, but you're still being ruled by lack mindset. But you can tell yourself like, no, I'm abundant. Like, this is good. I'm abundant. And then there's true release of attachment of whatever happens. And I'm going to spend to make, and this is free, and I'm open. And that's really where you release everything from this side. And I'm still in the middle.
I think I'm still in the middle too.
How do we not be?
Because the other part of that is, I think that growing up, I really realized from a young age that like being like a trust fund baby is not cute.
No.
And I think that I experienced a lot of people wanting to come to my house because of the way that my house was, or like because I had a dad who was well known. Like I very much saw through that.
Yes.
And then I started to almost resent that part of my childhood. So I kind of resented the success and the money in a way. I don't think it was like a conscious resentment. It was more of like a subconscious of, oh, I don't want people to like just like me because
of
your
your money.
Right. Or my dad's money. And so that's the thing. Then I started to be like, I started to tell myself, because I would tell my friends this, oh, it's not my money. It's my dad's money. Like, I'm not rich. My dad is.
Yeah. Don't like me for it.
Right. So then I think what I internalized is that money's not mine. Money is not earned for like by me, therefore it's not mine. So I think as I got older, I kept being run through life with that belief of money has never been mine and it's never mine. So I think that's a lot of where my lack mindset comes, and I have yet to figure out how to heal from that.
Yeah.
Of like, how do I become somebody who is, now we've been independent from my parents for a while since we've had children, but I'm still in a position where I am not financially stable.
Yeah.
And it's been 4 or 5 years, and I'm like, how do I work through those limiting beliefs so that I can get to a place of true detachment where I can have $7,000 in my credit card and know that it's going to be paid off, and not because I'm convincing myself that it's going to be paid off. I promise it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
But it's because I actually believe that I am worthy. I am, I don't want to say deserving of it.
You're totally deserving.
Yeah, but I feel like deserving is kind of like a convoluted word, because it means that you have to do something to be like rewarded, I feel like.
You can just inherently be deserving.
Yeah.
It's also interesting because I think there's this balance. I mean, this takes me to 2 different points, right? Is the work to live versus live to work. And then this also takes me to, where do you draw the line of finding your passion versus ruining your passion because you turn it into work? So a lot of people say in the United States, we live to work, versus in other countries, we work to live. And I do think that to a certain extent, that's true. We are here in a societal structure that values work, 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 work. It's a meritocracy, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, success, like get yourself to the top. It's a very selfish society where success is viewed by how you are in your career, how much success you have in your career. And so it's work to live. Think about the amount of time you spend at work. In a traditional working structure that has changed since COVID, but like a 9 to 5, that's the majority of your week.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. You're spending more time at work with your coworkers and your colleagues Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 than you do with your family, with your friends. Because you're also probably there longer hours if you're really, really, really working and if you have big jobs. In other countries, they take siestas, they take multiple day weekends. They don't work 9 to 5. That's just not the structure. They live to work. They live
because they're way more
they
taking
work to live.
Yeah. No. Yeah, they work to live.
They work to live.
Because they're taken way more care of by their government.
Correct. That's a slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope, but I mean, what you're talking about is like, we work so fucking hard because of the promise to get out.
And then what? We work and we work and we work to put this fucking money in our savings account and do what with it? Work more? And then take an escape, a vacation, an escape. You have to escape from your life? That's how much you hate it? You have to escape?
This is the Kim K perspective that I think about.
What is Kim K perspective?
Kim Kardashian?
Yeah, but what about it?
Did you ever watch Keeping Up the Kardashians? Have you like kept up with the Kardashians?
No, haven't. Can't say I have.
So Keeping Up with the Kardashians has been a comfort show of mine for years. I mean, I'll put it on if I'm needing to do work late at night.
They're reptilian robots.
Yeah, but it's mind numbing.
You're like, yeah, anyways.
It's easy to listen to. I mean, it's just easy to have on in the background, right? And I'm so fascinated by how they became such a sensation, really not doing like
anything.
You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like they were a singer. It wasn't like they were actors. Like they just really became the sensation. We became obsessed with them. But the Kim K effect is Kourtney always shames in a way Kim for continuing to do something new, work harder, hustle. And it's so interesting to me that she's a billionaire, yet she still decides to spend less time with her children and go do a movie, go do, her businesses, go do the show, go do all these things. And so I'm like, we work so hard to escape. But what happens is what I feel is that we get addicted to the productivity.
Totally.
So then when we do have that freedom that we worked so hard for, we
can't
even enjoy it because we are so addicted to living to work that we don't know what to do.
That becomes people's identity and people's sole purpose in
Right.
life. Is there when you talk to people, one of the first questions in small talk is, what do you do for work? I have tried really hard. The position that I work in outside of yoga is a client-facing position where I have to connect with people and I have to chat with people. And I have tried really hard to ask people outside of, what do you do for work? Just being like, what do you like to do? The amount of times that people will respond with their job, with how they make money. They don't know how to answer the question, what do you like to do? Because they spend all of their time doing what they do to make money. And oftentimes, like, what you like to hear is that they also like to do that. That's also enjoyable to them, right? I love when I hear that someone's like, oh, I'm a nurse. And then they tell me all about how much they enjoy it. And they love working in pediatrics and they love hanging out with children and they have this and this and this. Like, love that. But I think that people form their identities on how they make their money. And that's what status and value comes from, is like that association to where the money is coming from. That self-worth is where I'm drawing my money from. And that is also really sticky because at what point do you give up other parts of your self-worth to make the money? Think about the person that compromises who they really want to be, an artist, a creative, a theater major, knows that they can't make money as a starving artist. So they go and they work the 9-to-5 corporate job and they sell their soul to go work behind a computer all day. And they're selling tech sales and they make all their money and they're like, okay, great. I'm making my money. And now on the weekends, I can go sell my art at a market and I can do these shows and I can do whatever. And that's fine. I'm making myself happy. I can take my vacations. I'm making really good money. Maybe that's just the life I live. Maybe that's the balance I have. Versus making their passion their job and trying to find ways to bring in money through being an artist, starring in shows, doing whatever they would do in this realm. And like, where's the line of compromise between this side deciding I'm going to make my artistry my career, then becoming not passionate, not fruitful, not fun because it becomes stress driven? This is now the area where I am so attached to this needing to make me money.
You're making a excellent point, because this is why a lot of the things that I've done in the past have failed. Is everything that I have done in the past since giving birth to Lennox 4 years ago was strictly off of what am I passionate about and how can I make a living through this passion. Because I was fortunate enough for Lucas to have a restaurant job, and then now he has a sales job, and he has been really the provider of our family. I have been able to pursue my passions. But all of the passions that I did in the past, because again, I have this desire to also be financially independent, financially stable. I don't know if, something happens to Lucas tomorrow. Can I stand on my 2 feet? I don't want to be in that position ever. And so it's an excellent point that it's a slippery slope. When you decide to pursue your passion as your career, I feel like you have to have so much patience and understanding that the passion, the purpose is so much more important than the outcome, the productivity, the money, because I think when you prioritize the passion, the money will come. But if you prioritize the money, the passion dies.
Correct.
And that's why we have so many friends who are struggling because they're like, I am a slave to my job and I'm making decent money. It's the only way I can live. However, I am miserable. I am not doing my passion. I don't love what I do. I wake up and I dread the day. And I think that this is such an interesting segue into ego too, in that status of money that it holds, because so many of my friends that I talk to who are in that position, I'm like, well, why don't you just quit and get like a bartending gig and do your passion during the day? Oh, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Why? Because you don't want to tell people you're a bartender at 27 years old?
Here's my segue. Let me sit on my soapbox for a minute. We need to have a massive discussion as a society about what wealth means.
Yes.
If we want to stop using the language money, let's start using the language wealth and take that outside of the category of finance, outside of the category of tangible dollar signs, and look at wealth as your time with your loved ones, your time in nature, your time with yourself, your time for freedom and peace. And yes, that does come with what you're able to do with your dollar signs, but it also comes with what you can do for free, what you can do that doesn't have to do with like selling your soul at your fucking job.
Do you know what's so interesting about that is sometimes, more often than not, people would make more money at a bartending gig than their fucking 9 to 5 that they're sitting at, but they can't because of the status of sales manager versus bartender at the local pub.
And also, just remind yourself, I have to remind myself this all the fucking time, no one cares about you, Jess. And I say that in the nicest way possible. Like, yes, people love me, people care about me, people care what I'm doing, they want to stay updated. But no one fucking actually cares, because everyone is so invested in their own lives, their own success, their own feelings, their own thoughts, their own emotions. No one cares what I'm doing for work. No one cares what title I have. Do whatever you have to do. I'm not actually concerned what your title is, how much money you're making.
Well, your title is also just part of like the cog in the machine is you
Go ahead.
You having the title is just a way for you to stay distracted from not involving yourself in corporate America or the system. It's, I think that when you were talking about that of like, no one cares about you, is I was saying, I'm sure the people who are in their corporate 9 to 5 who fucking hate it are sometimes jealous of the people who are working a restaurant gig because they have more freedom and whatever, even if that presents itself,
always greener, baby.
Even if that presents itself as like shaming that other person. Can go.
Do you know the cog in the machine? Do you know where you're getting that from?
No.
The Unabomber. What do you know about the Unabomber?
I've heard of it, but I don't know.
Okay, I have like an ungodly obsession with the Unabomber. Not like him personally, but just the story about it.
Okay.
The Unabomber was like, I think it's like a 1990s, late 1980s. It's a true story.
Okay.
Yep. You must watch the docu-series.
Okay.
Call to action for everyone here. It is a man who completely is revolting against the technological revolution.
Whoa.
And he writes all these letters as...
So he's not listening to this.
No, he's dead now. He passed in prison. But he is taking this stance against the technological revolution in a very violent way. He takes this anonymous stance by writing letters threatening to bomb and kill airlines, schools, basically saying we need to all wake up because we are cogs in this machine of society. We are sitting at vacant streets at red lights. We are mimicking you need to watch it. It's so fascinating. I mean, it's fascinating because he's so right about how we are all just little robots playing in this matrix, in this industrial technological revolution of society, and how so much has changed. And this was back before where we are now. This was 40 years ago.
Before the internet?
No, I think this was kind of like the birth of the internet. And he had a really traumatic childhood. He went to Harvard and was part of all these like really unethical studies where they like did brain scans and like really, it's fascinating.
What's his argument is that technological advances diminish humanness?
Exactly. It takes away our innate humanness.
He's not wrong.
The thing is, it's super interesting because it gets you to see him and relate to him completely because he's not wrong about what he's preaching and what he's saying. He's just so, I mean, he's
far gone.
Yeah, he's super far gone, but he doesn't know how to get people's attention. And the only way that he knows how to do it is through violence and through like really tragic acts where he does end up killing people, I believe. And maybe he does or doesn't. I don't know. I digress. But
so why is he called the Unabomber?
That's what he like signs himself as because he's like going to bomb things. He's a single bomber. And he lives in this cabin in the woods in Montana and they go try to find him. And it's a whole thing. But the point is he makes really, really interesting parts. It's the birth of linguistics like that they use in the FBI to analyze people's writing to figure out who they are.
He was the birth of it?
His writing, the letters he sent in, the teams that were dedicated to work on his projects to find out who he is, they were the birth of this whole squadron, these teams of people to analyze. I forget if it's not linguistics, it's oh my God, I'm at a loss for words. Anyways.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Go fucking watch The Unabomber.
I'm going to watch this tonight.
It's so fascinating.
Wow.
Yeah. He would be so anti.
Rolling in his grave.
Yeah, he'd be rolling in his grave.
But I think the whole point
Cogs in the machine.
Of what we're trying to say is like, I think that it's worth evaluating your view of money, your relationship to money, what wealth actually is. And I think it's this delicate balance that all of us are going to have to be playing our entire lives of how involved do we get in the game? How detached from it do we get? How do we balance the fact that we need money?
Yes.
But we don't want to be identified by the amount of it that we have.
You're so well spoken this episode.
Thank you. Maybe
This is what happens when you write the outline.
Yeah. Well, I think a perfect way to end this is that I asked for conscious confessions.
Love.
Around money, and maybe we can just chat about it.
Love.
Is it worth not having a third baby because you're worried about affording them when they're older?
That's a great question. I think that takes a lot of self-reflection. I don't have any babies, so I don't know, but I know that I saw something online that the average baby in America costs over $100,000 for the first 2 years of life.
I don't think that's true.
Between healthcare, doctor's visits. No?
No.
Okay.
I would say 50. Or, let's see. Daycare is $12,000 a year. Car seats.
How much is
clothes.
it to have a baby though, to go to the hospital?
Oh. If you're including that.
Everything combined.
Well, I was on my parents' insurance when I had my first, so I don't even know.
All right. That's fucking insane. Regardless, it's a lot of money to have a baby, and I don't think people know that, but I think that that is a really good question to consider what the quality of life for your children is going to be.
For sure.
And maybe consider why you want a third baby. I'm not the person to ask. Amanda's the person to ask about fucking children.
I don't mean to sound so like biblical, but I don't think you're ever going to regret a third baby. And I know the person who's asking this, I would not let that deter you. Well, and I think this is also very subjective. I'm obviously in a position where I'm privileged than more people. So I can come from a place of like,
You have a safety blanket if you need it.
I have a safety blanket if I need it, but also I feel very driven by having children. I don't know if that's people's relationship. I also didn't have any postpartum anxiety, postpartum depression, like a lot of different factors factor in. And I think that if you are, I don't know. I think my whole point to this is that
strictly financially.
I would never let fear deter me from making a decision. Like if I'm scared to have another baby because of finances, but I want a baby so badly, I would still have that baby. Because I think that I would always, I don't know. I think for me, having another baby is a financial driver. Like I would just work harder to afford that baby. You know, having my first was the biggest driver to career, financial independence, like being able to afford that baby. And you know what's so interesting? When Lucas and I got pregnant with our second, that was the question we had. How the fuck are we going to afford the second baby? But then we're 2.5 years into having 2 kids, and we look back and we're like, how the fuck have we done this? We've done it.
Yeah.
But how?
Yeah.
So I think it's you're gonna get really paralyzed in the overthinking. I think truthfully, and this might be irresponsible to say, but if you truly want on your heart is to have another baby, I would have the baby. I just would.
Can I babysit it?
Yeah.
You don't have to pay me. Free healthcare, free childcare.
But again, like that's a valid question to ask. I mean, if you think it's going to cause you more stress,
just think about it. Talk to your partner about it. Have open conversation about it. Talk to those that you would collectively take care of the baby with, your friends, your family. Like, see what that would look like. Maybe do a little bit of financial planning. Like, just see realistically what that would feel like, look like before you had the baby, and then I have sex.
Well, actually, this is a lesbian couple too. So that's also another factor into this is like the financial investment in making that happen.
Totally.
So again,
I'll carry your baby.
No, she carries it.
Oh,
she has 2 boys.
You're right. It's not like a gay couple where someone has to carry a baby.
Yeah. But my friend Graham actually might use your services if you're
open to it. You know what?
I
actually would totally be open to carrying someone else's baby. I'll put that out there. I mean, that one you would have to pay me. I wouldn't do that for free. But like I would totally carry someone else's baby.
Okay. Would you be a surrogate or would you actually be an egg donor?
Both.
Would you carry, so say my friend Graham and his boyfriend.
Oh, I'll give my eggs like tonight.
Really?
Yeah. Oh my God, absolutely.
What if you felt like you needed
your baby would be so slay and funny.
What if you were like around that person and like watch that baby grow? Would you be fine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
Cool. It's good to know.
Having the baby, I think, would be harder.
True.
I would give my eggs yesterday.
Yeah.
I want to be pregnant.
Really?
So badly.
I loved being pregnant.
Like, I wake up some mornings and I'm like, oh, I want a baby so bad. But then like part of me kicks in and I'm like, no, you fucking not.
Yeah.
You cannot handle that.
I don't know. I also think I'm the wrong person to ask because I have massive baby fever right now and I want a third baby. So I'm always going to say, go for the third.
Just have one so I don't have to have one, please.
Okay. But I feel for you and that's real. Second, feeling less guilty about being in debt because it keeps my money life interesting. That's the kind of mindset.
Baby girl, we are all in debt.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just kind of a thing that we do here in America.
Yeah. Just kind of a quirk.
Just kind of like a fun, quirky 2 truths and a lie. No, I mean, like, also, I think we have to remember these are the moments where I'm like, don't take things too seriously. Money is fake. Debt is fake.
Oh, perfect. Someone says, I don't take money seriously. It comes and goes, and I know everything will work out. Always broke, though.
You know, that's just it.
Yeah.
And I think the more that you limit yourself with, I can't do anything, I'm so broke. I'm so broke. I'm so broke. I can't come. I'm so broke. I'm like, I can't come. I'm so broke. And so it is.
Yeah.
Your perception is your reality. So if you want to label yourself as such, you will be.
Yeah.
I mean, like, even words cast spells, even the joke of like, I'm so broke. You are a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm abundant. Money's coming to me. Like, let's just shift into, I have to be selective about where I spend my money versus I'm so broke I can't come. I don't have any. Like, just change the way that you talk about what money you do have, because you do have money. You do have access to money. You have access to making money. It's just a thing. We do.
Yep.
And so just let the perception of how you receive it and what you do have be different.
I also think about when you're looking at your bank account, you see that number of credit card debt, but then you don't actually realize maybe you're putting like $100 in it a month.
Just don't look at it.
But what I'm saying is, like, I think we attach to the fact that we haven't paid it all off. But sometimes people are putting like $5 in, putting $10 in, and like, congratulate yourself on that. Like,
small wins.
That's a win. Focus on the small wins versus like the massive debt that's sitting in your bank account.
Yeah, and just don't look.
Okay, well, I think we should leave you with that. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you.
This was a fun episode.
I don't know what happened.
Find us on TikTok, find us on Instagram, Consciously Unconscious Pod. If you are in the Denver area, come to our event. We posted the tickets. They're live. We'd love to see you. It's yoga, seated flow, and journaling. Yes.
That's what she said.
You always whisper.
Yeah, I know. No, it's going to be sweet. We're doing it in this space, which is really beautiful. It's going to be like an evening time event. It's going to be holiday season vibes. It's going to be a seated yoga flow. Don't even know what that's going to look like, but it's just going to be flowy. It's going to be open. It's going to be a time to connect, which we all need in this era. And what comes up comes up. So bring a friend, bring a loved one, bring a dog. Sure. Bring a dog, bring a baby. I don't care. And after my 16 cold brews, I gotta head out.
Bye, guys.
Bye. 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 Have you ever seen that little girl? Oh my God.